Hey everyone, my name's Angel. Welcome to the DEITY Tech Series. Today we're going to go over how to install your new DEITY Crosshair headset cap kit. This is one of those tasks that is often overlooked, but if you want to avoid hard to find creaking sounds in the front end of your bike, we suggest taking your time and following along. There are a few tools that we recommend having ready to get your DEITY Crosshair headset cap, spacers, and star nut installed. A star nut installation tool, which will be using this Park Tool Deluxe Star Nut Setter, but there are a lot of other cost-effective tools out there that will do a great job. A hammer or a mallet like this, and a 4 or 5 millimeter hex Allen wrench, or whatever is appropriate for your stem. We also recommend using a torque wrench. We also suggest using appropriate safety gear like gloves and protective eyewear. You can see here that we have our fork off the bike and clamped securely by the steer tube in this bike stand, but you can also perform the same task with the fork on the bike. Just exercise caution to avoid damaging any of the potentially dangling components. For our demonstration, we're going to be installing the star nut on a fork steer tube that's already been cut to the appropriate length for our frame. But if you have a brand new fork, you usually want to get it cut to the right length for your frame, stem, and spacers before installing the star nut. First thing we'll do is open up our Crosshair headset cap kit, which includes the alloy Crosshair headset cap, chromoly installation bolt, a star nut, a set of color-matched 3, 5, and 8 millimeter alloy spacers, and finally the 7075 color-matched headset cap bolt. Remember, if you need more than the 16 millimeters of spacers included in this kit, we also offer an additional standalone spacer kit. We'll get started by threading our star nut onto our star nut setting tool. Then we'll go ahead and position it over the steer tube, making sure the guide handle moves freely and everything is properly aligned. Now we'll firmly hold the handle grip and strike the top of the driver until it bottoms out on the guide handle. At this point, the star nut should be set to the proper depth in the steer tube, and you can go ahead and turn the star nut setter counterclockwise to unthread it from the star nut so you can inspect it. Now we're all set to get the front end of our bike buttoned up with the rest of our Crosshair kit, making sure that you've also gotten your headset properly installed based on the manufacturer's recommendations. For the rest of the setup, we suggest having your bike on the ground so you can ensure your headset is fully engaged. We'll move on and install the spacers needed below our stem for our preferred stem height, then slide the stem onto the steer tube. We're installing our copperhead stem, so we're going to make sure our steer tube goes all the way through the stem steer clamp for maximum engagement and reliable performance down the trail. Now we'll add at least a 2 millimeter spacer above the stem to ensure our Crosshair headset cap has the clearance it needs once everything has been seated in and tightened up. Go ahead and thread in the included chromoly installation bolt using a 4 millimeter hex Allen wrench and torque to your headset manufacturer's recommendations, which is typically a very light 1 to 2 Newton meters. Now let's align our copperhead stem with the front wheel and tighten up the steer clamp bolts, following your fork and stem manufacturer's recommendations, which with our copperhead will be 5 Newton meters, alternating between both bolts to bring them up evenly to the proper torque. The last step here is going to be to remove our chromoly installation bolt from the headset cap. Then we're going to apply a small amount of grease to the threads and underside of our countersunk anodized alloy bolt and thread it in with a 4 millimeter hex Allen wrench. We're all set here, and if you followed along, your bike should have a great new piece of jewelry and be noise-free from the headset. If you have any questions regarding the proper installation technique for your Crosshair headset cap, you can always reach out to me directly at tech@deitycomponents.com and we'll make sure you're dialed in. Thanks again for joining us and supporting a rider-owned company. We'll see you next time.